Rod man. This is the Fit Out of Water Football Show. We are on the heels of the conference championship games, and I gotta say, we are back. We are live on YouTube and Facebook Live. Brother, what is going on?
Listen, man, after a great, disappointing in some ways, but great weekend of football, Herbie, man, I'm ready to be back talking football, Herbie. These playoffs have been great, man. They've been great, man. They've been
These
great.
playoffs have been great. Obviously, we didn't record last week, so we said, you know what, we wanted to, catch the games, and we had to do the same thing yesterday as well. We wanted to be able to catch the games and actually talk about the games, bro. So that's why we're recording on this fine Monday evening. We have our playoff and our Super Bowl set. We know who is the representative of each conference. You have the Patriots on the AFC side. You have the Seattle Seahawks on the NFC side, bro. And we have a rematch of a legendary, infamous Super Bowl. I want to say that was a decade ago. God, how time flies. Time is not real at all. But we here. We are here, man. Patriots Seahawks will be in Super Bowl LX in Santa Clara, California, February 8th, 2026, bro. So, let's just go ahead and just recap the playoffs as a whole. You said they were great. What was your macro sense of this year's playoff run?
Well, my macro sense was, Herbie, that the NFL has ultimately realized whatever dream they set out with the whole parity thing, right? Like with the whole idea of having parity in the league and pretty much giving just about anybody's team a snowball's chance in hell. Herbie, you got to imagine the New England Patriots prior to this season had back-to-back four-win seasons, right? The Seahawks were a team in transition. You know, they were trying to work things out with Geno, Mike McDonald, and then they had to let go of Pete Carroll, right? Like they had to part ways with him, much like New England some years ago with Bill Belichick. And it's just you see the Chiefs this season, Herbie. They had kind of broken the system a little bit in terms of how frequently they were able to dominate the AFC. But this year it all finally caught up to them, and you got to see what it was made of, Herbie. Coming into this playoffs, you really couldn't tell who was going to make it out. You weren't sure. You felt good about just about everybody in one way or another, and it just turns out that the Patriots they came out on top in the AFC and the Seahawks in the NFC, man. But there's been a lot of. I'm pretty sure in terms of fourth quarter comebacks and lead changes, and like this has been one of the most competitive playoffs ever, right? And we've seen it in the majority of the games. Um, True Blazer, I ain't seen no homie in a minute, man. Someone please send that parody memo. Listen, man. The funny thing about the Dolphins, and we're gonna get to them later, man. Obviously, we're gonna get to the Dolphins later. But the rest of the league, they understand what parity means. It means not remaining mediocre and actually winning playoff games. I don't even want to get into my feelings about the Patriots, bro, because what they've accomplished is just as a Dolphin fan is just it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating, man.
Well, let's get into it. Unfortunately, because we do have to talk about it, man. So let's go ahead and just recap the conference championship games, bro. You said it, bro. The Patriots are back in the Super Bowl. Forget back into the Super Bowl. The Patriots got back to the AFC Championship game to before they even got to the Super Bowl, bro. They've only been bad for 3 years, dog. They've only had to suffer for 3 freaking seasons. That's it. That's it.
It's disgusting, bro.
It's not right.
But
It's not
Herbie,
okay.
when you think about the Patriots, bro, can you imagine that prior to this season, they haven't even gone a decade since, bro. The last regime, you can still smell them. You can still smell Brady and Belichick in the air. Herbie, they went to a Super Bowl in 2018. Hasn't
Yeah.
even been a full decade,
Yeah.
and they're back.
And they're back.
They're
They're back.
back, man.
So there's so much to unpack. You got to decide that this might be the worst team to ever make the Super Bowl. This might be up there. Like, this is objectively one of the worst offenses to ever make the Super Bowl. That's for sure. You have the fact that how does this affect Bill Belichick's legacy? That Tom Brady won a Super Bowl without him, and then the Patriots got back to the Super Bowl 2 years after they got him out of the freaking building. Like, This is a stain. Oh, but and then on top of the fact that he's been terrible in North Carolina, the college ranks, it's not looking good for Billy B, man. This is yikes.
It,
That's tough.
you know what's
That's
funny,
tough.
Herbie? Back in the days, people used to always say that it was Belichick who made Brady in New England, but we're slowly finding out over time who had it made, man. You know what I'm saying?
And
Right?
then you have the other side. So you have the Seahawks getting back to the Super Bowl. It's like, what is it about these teams that are allowing certain organizations to just have repeated success that is like completely uh like ungraspable for the Miami Dolphins? Like what are they doing? What's the difference? Where is this giant disconnect? Like, is John Snyder significantly better than, well, yes he is, was significantly better than Chris Greer. We already understand that. But like, why are y'all not getting these architects and these team builders and these culture setters? W- w- like, this is Miami, Florida. We're the only place in America where I could wear shorts outside right now, dog. Like, why is it so hard to get quality idea makers and builders of teams to come to South Beach? It's South Beach. What is Rob? What is it? What is it?
I mean, Herbie, you know what, man? It's when you look at it, at least I'll reserve what I'm going to say for the new hires that we've made for later in the pod, but it's just Herbie. It always starts with ownership. It always starts with the people at the top. Like when the people at the top don't know what they're doing or they don't know who to turn to, which is why I was actually pretty like I was good with the Aikman move with making him somewhat of a consultant.
Right.
You got someone who's well plugged into the league. You got someone who had experience with seeing from a personal perspective winning a championship with two different coaches, right? He saw two different ways and styles, and he has his own preferences as to what he would look for in an organization that is looking to change its culture. So, in terms of, but in terms of previous moves, Herbie, Stephen Ross relied too much on the people who have always been in the building. And he put so much faith in them that look at where it got us, Herbie. This is the first time that we're doing like a clean house, no leftover,
Yeah.
no leftover GM, no leftover, like this is the first time we're starting from scratch. So, but not to take away from, the teams that actually matter, Herbie, not to take away from them.
Oh
Uh,
yeah. So let's how about this? Let's go ahead and get right into the preview, and then we'll go back to the Dolphins side, man. So this is the preview: Super Bowl LX. I don't even know the number, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I've been saying LX, bro. What is it? 46?
Man, I don't know my Roman numerals, bro.
I think it's 46. I think it's Super Bowl 46. So Super Bowl 46, Seahawks versus Patriots. I'm not gonna lie to you, dog. This has the capability and the potential to get ugly, bro. Like, I'm gonna keep it a bean, bro. Like, this has the potential to get really, really ugly, bro. 60. I was way off. Goddamn. All right, bet. Say less. Say less. My bad. Yeah, that lets you know where we are, dog. But back to what I was saying. This has the potential to get really, really ugly. Like, I am somebody who, in I don't care. I have no dog in the fight. You obviously have somebody that you're rooting against because you do not want to see the Patriots win another championship. And as a, Dolphins
Super
podcast,
Bowl
it
60,
is.
Herbie. Oh, shout out to True Blazer who
Yeah,
did
yeah,
that.
yeah. And I caught what he said.
Yeah.
I caught it. But is this even going to be a good game? Like, all jokes aside, is this going to be a good game? Like, the Patriots have looked putrid on offense for 3 straight games. Like,
You,
they've
you know, you,
averaged 4.4 yards per play.
you know what
This
I think,
is
Herbie?
disgusting.
When it comes to the Patriots, and God, I can't believe I'm the one giving them some grace here. Uh,
Right.
but when it comes to them, Herbie, coupled with the fact that they went up against outside of their own defense, three of the best defenses in the NFL, I think it all came to fruition as to terms of what they actually have on offense, right? Like it's Drake May and then just a bunch of guys that they've been able to make work all season long. And it showed, bro. It showed in these games that they definitely here's the crazy part. These guys made the Super Bowl, Herbie, and they have so much more room for improvement. Like that's probably the thing that messes me up the most, Herbie. It's not like the Patriots are going to the Super Bowl with a star-studded offense and with this just beast offensive line and the best running back in football. Like it was Drake May, a bunch of guys that they were able to coach up, and a
Right.
great defense. Right. So, even in listen, Herbie, think about it. They scored 10 points in an AFC championship game, albeit against a defense that had almost 70 sacks on the season and in a snowstorm. All right, whatever. And then the game against the Chargers, they scored 16 points, right? And the only reason they
Yuck.
scored 28 against the Texans is because CJ Stroud had an abysmal performance and just, gave their
And
offense.
you know the crazy part, because total, I think in the playoffs they've averaged 15.4 points or 15.9 points in the playoffs as an offense. This is some 2001 numbers, dog. Like it's like, is Drew Bledsoe back there? Like what am I like? We got to have a serious conversation, dog. Like this is yucky offense. There was Kurt Warner even said it. Kurt Warner had a tweet where he was like, okay, um, hey, listen, don't apologize for making the Super Bowl. They're very hard to come by. I know from personal experience, but yikes, this Patriot offense is really, really bad. And this was one of the worst offenses I've seen before the snow came. Like, I have a stat that just illustrates how bad this offense has been. The Patriots have more 3-and-outs than scoring drives in these goddamn what's it called in the playoffs. They have 11 3-and-outs. 3-and-outs. That means you were just 3-and-out. The drive was done. 3-and-out, 11, and only 9 scoring drives. 5 touchdowns, 4 field goals. This is not a championship offense right now. It is, and like the offense has been so bad that we're underrating how incredible the defense has been. The defense has allowed, I want to say, 8.7 points per game. 8.7 points per game in these 3 games. They have been all-time great. All-time great. And they've made the Super Bowl with the brand of football that I have not seen in 15 plus years. This is yucky. This is really, really yucky.
This is one of those times where you can say that a defense carried the quarterback to the Super Bowl.
100%. And you know me, I'm a Drake May fan. I've been rooting for Drake May. If just according to the regular season, I was beating the drum that he was the league MVP. But god damn, dog.
I know, bro.
And then you got on the opposite side, you have a true complete team. You have a team that had one of the best DVOA teams of all time. I think they finished top 6 or top 7 all time, going back to as long as DVO has been recorded. You have a great team on offense, you have a great team on defense, and you have a great team on special teams. Like the dichotomy between both of these teams and how they got here, we haven't really seen a lopsided level of talent going into it. And again, the game still has to be played. We have to watch everything unfold. Anything can happen. The Patriots might just be a terrible matchup for the Seahawks. But I'm talking about going into it. This is how it used to be in the 90s, where the Super Bowl was played in the NFC Championship for like a decade. Like, that was the NFC Championship. I mean, that was the Super Bowl. The NFC Championship for a decade in the 90s was whoever the Cowboys or the 49ers beat. If they didn't beat each other, they were winning the Super Bowl. That's what it feels like. That's what it felt like when the Cowboys and the 49ers would have a real battle in the NFC Championship and then go blow out the AFC contender in the next game.
Even before
Like,
then, you had the Giants and Redskins making Super Bowls in the 90s, too.
and blowing out the opposition. Like,
Buffalo.
like this I don't want to get ahead of myself because obviously we have 2 weeks. Mike Vrabel is a phenomenal head coach. Give Mike Vrabel 2 weeks to prepare. I'm pretty sure he's going to make up a world-class game plan. But yo, so how do you feel like this is going to play out?
Well, look, Herbie. I mean, when you play these games out on paper, it definitely looks like the Seahawks have an advantage. But I look at this thing from multiple angles, and what I mean by that is when I look at it from the Seahawks perspective, Herbie. If you were to classify both conferences based on the way the playoffs played out, you could say the AFC was a defensive conference and the NFC was the offensive. right? We had a lot more explosive games in the NFC than we did in the AFC. The AFC was a lot of old school, ugly football tilt type of game.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right?
facts.
So I think when it comes down to it, Herbie, the Seahawks, and I'm not trying to take anything away from Sam Darnold, Herbie, who you could make the argument has the greatest redemption story in all of football history.
Yeah, facts.
Right? Like I don't know, Herbie, if you would have if you would have told anybody within the past 5 years that out of the 2018 class that Sam Darnold would make the Super Bowl before Baker Mayfield, Lamar Jackson, and Josh Allen, you would call them insane.
See, here's the thing though. You wouldn't even if it was just that, you wouldn't call him insane. The story that you apply to the conversation is when you have to call that person insane because it's not just Sam Darnold who made it first, right? We could excuse that. We could explain that. We've seen mediocre, subpar, or okay quarterbacks make a Super Bowl. That's,
Sure.
you feel me? What is insane about it is the Sam Darnold that was cut by the Jets, cut by the Panthers, cut by the 49ers, and then basically thrown away for J.J. McCarthy. That Sam Darnold would make the Super Bowl first out of that 2018 class, which has gone to be a world class, which has gone to be a historic class in its own right, which has gone to be the perfect illustration of how quarterbacking and a quarterback career is not linear. There's so many different routes that these guys have taken to ultimately get to the same point, which is franchise quarterbacks for the respective teams that they currently play for.
Right.
You have 3 MVPs between them. You have somebody who made the Super Bowl between them, and you have somebody who resurrected or kept the tradition alive with the NFC South Tampa Bay Bucks between them. Like, this was a great class. Everybody got it right. How
Right.
they got to where they got to was not predictable, and you can't ever recreate these careers for these 4 gentlemen. But good God, is it insane? You are right. This is insane.
No, it's absolutely insane. But this is where it comes to with the Seahawks, Herbie. I think the Patriots clearly are going to be the best defense that they've played so far in these playoffs. And to your point, Mike Vrabel is a hell of a coach, man. I mean, this guy, he tortured us when he was with the Titans as a Dolphins fan. Like he knew like Tua was easy money for him. Like he never, I don't think he even when the Titans weren't good, his teams were able to beat us when we were good, right? That just goes that just goes to show the importance and the impact and influence of coaching. So, I think the Seahawks, I think this is going to be a really close game. And if there's one thing that the Patriots have, I think, over the Seahawks that they've shown in these playoffs is that the Patriots have acquired a skill that is a very important skill in the postseason, Herbie, and that is the ability to win very ugly. All the
Yeah,
Patriots playoff
yeah,
wins ugly,
ugly,
disgusting, these were disgusting victories, bro. So, but that's how you have to win to play football. And
man. We don't remember how championships are awarded. I can't tell you what the 4 championships that the Steelers won in the 70s. I have no idea how those games played out. I just know that they won 4 championships in the 70s.
right,
I am a devoted and devout Cowboys fan. I can't tell you a single thing about the 92, 93, or the 95 championship, bro. I don't know. I don't remember none of that. Like,
right.
I can't tell you anything.
All that
I
matters is
just
the
know
result.
that they won a championship in 92, 93, and 95. That's what I know. That's all that matters. Like, if the Patriots could pull this off, they might become right. People might follow them because it's the Patriots, and people might want to knock them for it. But they still got the ring. They're still going to have the ring ceremony. They're still going to be called the champions. And if they beat the Seahawks, it validates the journey. So, listen, this is football. It's hard. I am not here to take away from nobody at all, especially the way that these defenses are playing. Like, there's a great conversation to have that we are in a incredible era of chess where it got to the point where the offense and the rules are so geared towards offense, and these guys have still found a way to make defense great again.
Yep.
Like, these guys are geniuses, dog. Like, these guys are real geniuses, regardless of all of the the pitfalls that are thrown at these defensive coordinators or these defensive minded coaches, the wrenches that are thrown their ways, they're able to find a way to catch up to modern offenses, bro.
Yep.
And that's why I love this sport. There's no other sport that will ever be like football, where it's truly human chess and it's truly adjustment for adjustment. I thought that offense was going to just take over for the next decade. Man, that boom lasted like 3 years, bro.
Yep. And then you saw tons of mid quarterback play, and that was in large part due to defense.
Facts,
You know,
facts,
so
facts, man. So this is just a mini preview. We're gonna do like a full on preview on the next week's episode. Closer to the game. So I just wanted to touch on it a little bit, man. But this is a Dolphins podcast, so let's talk some Dolphins, Rod. Rod. Talking Dolphins. So,
Dolphins.
you, Rod, have a new GM.
Mm-hmm.
You, Rod, also have a new head coach by the name of Jeff Hatley. So, we were obviously all these news of it's been talked about, but we haven't done an episode in a week, so this is our time to give our perspective and just catch up with all of the news in regards to the coaching hires and whatnot. So we'll start with the Dolphins and then we'll talk about the rest of the coaching hires across the NFL as a whole, man. So, Rod, how do you feel about your new head coach? What do you got for me? Talk to me, dog.
All right. So even though some time has passed, I'll walk you through my process. Right. So when I first heard the news about Jeff, actually, I'm gonna dial it back a bit, Herbie. I'm gonna go back to the GM real quick. Um, when I first heard about the news when it came to the GMs, I'm not gonna BS in there, y'all. Obviously, I didn't know anything about these guys when the Dolphins were looking for them. But when I saw the hire we made, I looked into John Eric Sullivan, aka Sully, and I saw that GM, and I was impressed with his background, Herbie. What really drew me to him, and what made me pleased with the hire for the GM was the fact that he came from a background where he understands like the importance of drafting. Right. The problem that I had with previous regimes, Herbie, was that the Dolphins were free agency's biggest superstars. Right. We always had the big superstar splash of free agency. You could always count on the Dolphins to get that glorified free agent and put down a big bag, big money for a move that wasn't really a championship, addition. It was just more like a big band-aid for an even bigger scar. So, now we get a guy who, when you look at his track record, he came in through scouting. He is known, that's one of his specialties is identifying talent. It's reported he was the one who scouted Jordan Love. So there were a lot of positive things coming from John Eric Sullivan when you consider the culture that he comes from, when you consider the philosophy that he has for building a team. When I was listening to one of his interviews, Herbie, he said something that I have always agreed with and that always killed me when it came to previous Dolphins front office, Herbie. John Eric Sullivan said that, man, listen, man, draft a quarterback every year, right? Like, you can never have too many quarterbacks, especially when you don't have the guy. Like, he was saying, like, he's been saying things. He's been saying the right things. When you listen to the press conferences, the interviews, and considering the culture he comes from, I have faith that it obviously is going to take a little time, but I have faith that Dolphins could actually properly rebuild this roster from a talent perspective. Now, when you look at Jeff Hafley, Herbie, I'll keep it a buck. I was disappointed at first, not because of who he was, but because I was tired of doing the same thing over again, Herbie. I know that hiring a coordinator turned first time head coach is not always a bad thing. You look at Mike McDonald, who's in the Super Bowl. There are plenty of other examples. Look at Ben Johnson, who was spectacular this year. So sometimes,
Liam Cohen, Ben Johnson,
yeah,
Matt LaFleur when he was so like that.
Sean
It's
McVay.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Sean McVay, they hired him at 30. Now, granted, Sean McVay is a once in a lifetime generational talent to be a head coach. Like he was a head coach at 30 years old. He makes me feel like the biggest fucking loser in the world. But that's neither here nor there. That's neither here nor there. What am I doing with my life? Jesus Christ. But no, go ahead, carry on, sir. I just wanted to go ahead and add a little anecdote.
No, for sure, Herbie. And so when I looked at Jeff Hafley, and I thought to myself, like, damn, I was kind of hoping we would go after someone with experience. But Herbie, that doesn't always work out, right? I mean, we've seen head coaches go to other franchises and it doesn't work out. We've actually been a victim of that, right? Dave Wanstead, when he was the head coach of the Dolphins, we were his second stint. Prior to that, if I'm not mistaken, he was the coach of the Bears. Bears are the Saints. I think it's one of those two teams, but I think it was the Bears. You look at Pete Carroll, Herbie. He went to the Raiders and completely stunk that joint up. You know what I'm saying? So it's not. Look at Bill Belichick, who obviously after before and after Tom Brady hasn't really impressed. Outside being a head coach as a coordinator, he was legendary, right? But my point being, Herbie, sometimes the guy with previous experience, the guy who's had the job before, might not be the answer. Some people want a Gruden, but he still has legal issues with the NFL he's still dealing with. So I decided, Herbie, number one, you can't get yourself too up or too down now because it's just the beginning. So I just decided to kind of dig into some of Jeff Hafley's character and kind of look into what he is. And number one thing, Herbie, one thing I like about the arrangement that the Dolphins have right now, even though I wasn't crazy about hiring a first-time head coach with a first-time GM, they have history, right? John Eric Sullivan has an understanding of exactly who Jeff Hafley is, so much so that he was confident enough to make him his first hire as a GM for a head coaching job. I think that speaks volumes as to how he views his character. And if there was one thing that really, really screwed us when it came to the Tua era, Herbie, was the fact that Greer and Flores never got along. Flores didn't get along with a lot of people, but when your GM and your head coach don't get along, you are doomed for failure, no matter what, right? Because these are the two top captains of the ship. So we have two guys that presumably have a great relationship, guys who know each other. You know what I mean? I'm sure Sullivan has an idea of the kind of players that Hafley is going to want to draft. And then when I looked into Hafley, Herbie, there were some things I liked about him, Herbie. He first of all, thank God there's no more fucking guy going on the podium. No more of that, Herbie. We have a guy that is vibrant. He has charisma. He has attitude. He has energy. And when I looked into him, former players, people who've worked with him, guys like Richard Sherman, they talked about how he's a guy who knows how to simplify things. They talk about how he is a guy that pays attention to detail, someone who knows how to inspire others, a leader of men, Herbie. So look, he may not, and I looked into, he didn't do anything spectacular when he was head coach at BC. I got you. And in the NFL, the Packers defense, while this season they were decent, in 2024 they were fifth and sixth in terms of yards and points respectively, right? So at least he has shown that he could do some damage with his side of the ball. But I'm gonna listen, Herbie. It's just the beginning, right? It's the honeymoon phase. Whether you feel good or whether you feel bad, it doesn't really matter because we haven't seen anything of these guys yet. But I can only be optimistic. I'm not the type of person who wants to live in a world, Herbie, where what I mean. I'm gonna be all upset because you never know. The guy could end up being better than anybody thinks.
Oh, Rod. Unfortunately, I have to be the guy that has to be pessimistic. Okay, so I'm very happy that you took that stance because it gives me the opportunity to do the yin and yang, blah blah blah, the first take thing, right? Like,
Right.
I really, all jokes aside, I do appreciate you took that stance. I didn't think you were taking it there. You feel me? But I'm not trying to be Mr. Debbie Downer, but I do want to bring a little bit of the other side of the conversation. Speak
For
to the
sure.
pessimistic Dolphin fans because there's always going to be somebody who's inherently pessimistic by being a Dolphin fan. Like they go 1-1. It's a personality trait of being a fan of this team. So the only thing I will have to say when it comes to Jeff Hafley is he does ironically remind me, and this is somebody who they have a relationship with, of I want to say Steve Gannon. And the reason why I say he reminds me of Steve Gannon, who actually replaced him as the defensive coordinator for the Green Bay Packers, is if you remember that Eagles team and this was the first Eagles team that went to the Super Bowl that lost to the Chiefs. Everybody was like, all the Eagles guys, all the Eagles fans were like shocked that Steve Gannon got the head coaching job to go coach the Arizona Cardinals because they were like, yo, this dude sucks. He sucks on defense. Why did y'all hire him, right? And I don't think Steve Gannon is Jeff Hafley and vice versa. I think from, like you said, from everything that you've seen and all the stuff that you have heard when it comes to Jeff Hafley, he might have the opportunity to be a lot better than Steve Gannon, especially when it comes to being a leader of men, because that's one of the things that Steve Gannon obviously struggled with, if you want to really go back and look into that. But this is not something that is concerning, but it is a concern. There's a difference. It's not concerning, but it is a concern. The difference between the 2024 off defense from the Packers and the 2025 defense. Now, granted, that defense involved not having Micah Parsons for the duration, so it's not all the way fair, but it is a concern. Went from 5th to 12th as far as total defense. Went from 7th to 18th in rushing defense. Went from 13th to 11th in passing defense. Went from 6th to 11th in points against. Went from 4th with 31 to 26th with only 14 takeaways. And then went from 8th in the league in sacks with 45 to 21st in the league in sacks with 36. Now, again, Micah Parsons wasn't there for the duration. It's an incomplete. But normally when you see a guy get hired, he's on the upswing, not necessarily the downswing. And you said it, you said it's, you don't really care about, or not to put words in your mouth, paraphrasing, but you said you're not too concerned with his career at Boston College. But he did go 22 and 26 at Boston College.
He did. He didn't do anything special with that.
He did absolutely nothing special. Yeah. And he was 4 games under 500 at Boston College. Now, it is Boston College. That was pre-NIL. That was pre-transfer portal. So you're not going to win a lot of games at Boston College anyway. But I would assume somebody that's going to be a good NFL head coach could be a better college football coach than that. And again, there's a bunch of variables we all know, right? But people who I know who are ACC fans were terribly unimpressed by Jeff Hadley when it came to Boston College. So, again, not concerning. It is not concerning. It is completely different. Some guys are way better as college coaches than they are as NFL head coaches and vice versa. We know that firsthand when it comes to that situation and that conversation. Hello, Nick Saban. Nick Saban is arguably the greatest college football. He ain't. He is the greatest college football coach of all time. An abject disaster at NFL. It happens. So I just wanted to go ahead and bring that up. But with that said, I'm ultimately on your side. I'm really on this side because the thing that plagued the Miami Dolphins is Stephen Ross came into the old school era. Like he was one of the owners that came into the old era of football, the more archaic way of football.
Right.
So it took a long time for him to do what was necessary to be done, which is get rid of people from the old era as well. This is a new NFL. You need new people. You need new minds. You need younger people who are thinking outside of the box versus these freaking dinosaurs that he had in the past. The
Mike Tannenbaums and the Jeff
Mike Tannenbaums.
Fucking God, Herbie. I have nightmares of these guys, bro. Like nightmares, man. Okay.
Like, we got Jeff Ireland. Like he retained Jeff Ireland. That's as much of a dinosaur as it gets. Like that is what's really been plaguing this team for quite some time, is the fact that Stephen Ross took a very long time to really get up to speed with the new modern NFL. You need new thinkers. Even if you fail, you need new thinkers. This is a new athlete. This is a new type of media. This is a new type of coverage. You need people who are more adept at dealing with that versus these fucking dinosaurs that were a relic of a NFL that is no longer what we are a part of.
Yeah.
This is why it's a win. Like, this is why getting this GM, somebody who truly values the draft, not somebody who's looking to bargain bin.
He's not looking to plug holes, Herbie.
He's not looking to plug holes, right? You have a head coach who is truly understanding how to relate to players, but hold them accountable. That has the right balance. Who was, even if even if the record wasn't that great, he was a head coach. He has experience. And he was dealing with younger men than the men that he's going to be teaching now. So he knows how to relate to young people.
Right.
So there is a lot of positives. And I just want to go ahead and have this anecdote, right? In regards to your new GM. So I had this article. I want to say this is from FinFanatic. And this is what it goes on to say. The Miami Dolphins introduced their new general manager and head coach on Thursday at the time. And when it came to some insight from general manager John Eric Sullivan on what Stephen Ross said to him after he took the job. As far as ultimatums go, this wasn't one of them. As far as giving the highly touted GM a clear message about success, it doesn't get any clearer. Sullivan talked about what he wants to bring to the Dolphins, and he offered a comment from Ross regarding the expectations. According to Sullivan, Ross told him, and I quote, "If you can't do it, you can't say you won't have the resources."
Mm-hmm.
If there is one redeeming quality about Ross as an owner, it is that he isn't worried about spending money to build a winning franchise. Over the course of his career and his ownership, he has spent up to and sometimes more than even he probably should for players. His desire to win is not in question. His approach has always been the problem. Chris Greer and Dennis Hickey were not good GMs. Jeff Ireland wasn't his hire, but he retained them. Ross put trust in people who have been with the Dolphins for a long time, often choosing the wrong people. Ross had to grow the fuck up.
Yep. Pretty much.
He had to adjust with the times. This is a sign of somebody who is able to adjust with the times. Better now than never. Thank God.
Thank God. Thank God. And let me tell you, and let me tell you something, Herbie. When I was really digging into John Eric Sullivan, it warmed my heart, Herbie, because I realized we finally got a guy who might have an eye for talent. I don't know. People spoke highly of him when it came to Green Bay. You never know how much.
You gotta have an eye for talent. Look at all the guys they hit on: Christian Watson, Matthew Golden,
Yeah.
all of these defensive players that they've drafted recently,
Quay Walker,
right?
fucking
Yeah, all of these guys. Like you're the guy who said I need to go get a good backup in Malik Willis, right? Like you're the guy that went and got the running back from Las Vegas. I can't remember his name
You're the
right
guy
now, but
who's supposedly scouted the quarterback of Green Bay right now.
so
Right?
yeah, this is yeah, and again, you are from Green Bay. Green Bay is to a fault all about draft. Like to a fault. They don't give a damn about signing no free agents. It is build from within. Right. So at the very least, you know 100% that you're getting a completely different philosophy. And this is the right. Now, I'm not going to say this is the perfect. Perfect means that you hit it. He is great at his job, yada yada. But this is the right type of GM for what you guys need. You guys can finally do what you need to goddamn do, which is rebuild. It's like, who cares about next year? We have a $99 million cap hit written quarterback right now. Who cares?
No matter
be bad, what. Be mediocre. This is about for the next 5 years to set up the next 15.
Yeah.
Now we can actually see. We can actually have patience. Chris Greer deserved no patience. Of course we got tired. Of course we were fed up. He didn't deserve patience. He was in the job for 20 years. And he had the official title for 15.
No patience. Jeff Ireland, Mike Tannenbaum, no patience.
No patience. Sure. They don't get patience. They don't deserve patience.
Man.
John Eric Sullivan deserves patience because the approach is to build and build the infrastructure. Build from the seams, from the ground up, not patch holes like you say. So, all in all, man, I'm excited.
Same.
Like we hopefully this Dolphin could get some of this good luck. I mean, you guys are due for good luck, bro. Like, god damn, bro.
Herbie, every dog has his day. Every dog has his day, Herbie.
All right, so let's go ahead and end the show with the 2026 NFL coaching hires. We don't got to spend too long because obviously we're just catching up with everything. But, Rod, so instead of just recapping everything and being a dead horse, and this is completely like off the wall to the people who's watching. Rod doesn't know. I wanted to throw Rod a curveball. So what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and throw out the coaching hire. And I want you to give a scale of 1 to 10, your level of shock. So let's go ahead. And I'm going to save the most hilarious one for last. So we will start with the Ravens getting Jesse Minter from the Chargers.
Is okay. So the level of shock is like the high level of shock is like a higher number.
Yeah, from 1 to 10.
I would say like a 3 or 4. I wasn't
Okay.
shocked. I wasn't shocked that the Ravens went after a defensive minded
Wait,
defensive.
wait, 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 wait. Shad. I'm so happy you in the chat because we're literally waiting for
Ah!
you. This whole segment is to lead up to your head coach. This whole segment. Shout out to
Ooh,
Shad.
no way, bro.
We are. It's all to have the conversation about your head coach, dog.
Oh,
All
shit.
right. Next up, Robert Saleh of the Tennessee Titans.
You know what, Herbie? I'll throw that as a 5. I wasn't quite sure the Titans would go after a coach like that, but Salah for the Jets, at least to his credit, the defenses were considered to be pretty good. So I'm sure I don't. The Titans are a weird organization, bro. That's all I can say.
They're very weird. You want to know what's so funny about this? So part of the press release that was let out about them hiring Robert Saleh was them saying they wanted to find somebody like Mike Vrabel, which is why they went after Robert Saleh. Funny thing is, you had Mike Vrabel, bro.
Foolish, bro. There's probably nobody sicker than Titans fans right now, right? Because you had I'm sure Titans fans didn't want to see him go. Imagine, bro, Mike Vrabel was the head coach that brought Ryan Tannehill to the AFC title game, bro.
Facts.
This man did incredible
Facts.
things, Herbie. He did incredible things, man.
Like y'all, he got Ryan Tannehill to an AFC Championship game. He tried to fight against trading AJ Brown. Like you ran him out of town because he had a big ego, only for you to try to find somebody like him when you already had him. You can't make this up, man.
Can't make
You
it up.
cannot make this up. All right, next up. Let's see here. Ooh. All right, one of the big fishes. John Harbaugh with the Giants.
Herbie, I'll be honest. At the time that I heard about the hire, because I hadn't been keeping up with all of the football news and all the rumblings and stuff, this is what like an 8 for me, Herbie.
Yeah.
I was shocked. I was thinking because one, obviously, the news that I was keeping up with was talking about Harbaugh might go to come to the Dolphins, and he was because they had spoken about him considering the Giants, but I thought to myself like, nah. And then I hear reports that he's strongly considering, and then all of a sudden he's the coach. I was shocked by that one, legit. I was shocked by that one.
Yeah, I was shocked by that one too. But it's like I was shocked by it for the simple fact that I thought that somebody his age, I mean he's 62, if not 63, would try to
Go to
go
a ready-made
somewhere,
situation.
go to a ready-made situation, and like you don't have to build. But I think this is just who he is. I think he's a builder. I think, and then he's gonna have two things. He's gonna have security because the expectations are gonna be low. This is gonna be the first job where people are not actually expecting you to win. They're just expecting you to be competent. And it's been so long since he's been in that position. I think he got tired of the stress of trying to be a championship team when you have a once in a lifetime quarterback talent. When you had a year when I think you had like 13 Pro Bowlers and you didn't, I think, and you lost to the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. Like he's going to a situation. Yes, it is New York, but he has full control. He even put that in his contract that Joe Shane is not his boss. Like, do you know how crazy that is?
Yeah.
That you have to have it in your contract that this guy has to listen to me, otherwise I'm not coming to you. Like, dog, the end of like, bro, these
That's some real
people.
cachet though.
Nah, that's for sure. Like he had 7 people that were trying to get him. If you have leverage, use it. I ain't got no problem with that. But it just speaks to how ridiculous and dysfunctional so many of these teams are. Like there's a reason why the same teams are bad and the same teams are good. Like Jesus Christ. So yeah. All right. Mike McCarthy with the Steelers.
Herbie, this was a 9 for me, bro. Damn near a 10. I was shocked just solely because why, like why?
Yeah.
What do people see in Mike McCarthy, Herbie?
He is a
What do they see?
professional. He's a professional. I know how to rub shoulders, ass motherfucker, dog. Like he's the greatest that we've ever seen. Not like he's gotten more opportunities for doing nothing than any coach in my lifetime. Not only is this your third time getting a head coaching opportunity, you've done it for three premier franchises, three legacy franchises,
Yep.
two original franchises, if not three. You got to do this with the Packers, the Cowboys,
And now the
and
Steelers.
now the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Hey, Steelers
What?
fans, y'all were frustrated with Mike Tomlin? Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
You got white Mike Tomlin.
Pretty much.
But worse, at least with Mike Tomlin, I know that he overachieved. Mike McCarthy has never overachieved at any point in his life. Never. He's never overachieved. He's only been blessed. This is the first time when he's actually going to have to be a serious head coach since he's been a head coach. You got gifted Brett Favre, then you got gifted Aaron Rodgers, then you got gifted a world-class offense with the Dallas Cowboys, offensive talent. And we seen how you were holding the team back. The minute you left, the team exploded on offense.
Oh,
'Cause you're
Schottenheimer made him look bad. He made him look
so bad. Your offensive coordinator that the team retained, that fired you and they kept, showed the true potential of the offense. Not 2, 3, 4, 5 years. No, literally the year after you left. I do not understand it. This is a 15, dog. Like a 10 is a 10 ain't enough. This is a 15, fam.
crazy.
This doesn't make sense. He's get this. You're going to laugh. He's only 5 years younger than Bill Cowher, dog. Bill Cowher 68, he's 63. That doesn't even sound right.
What?
Yes.
No fucking way.
Yes, bro. Yes. He's like, this is not a young man. There's no upside. Like, this is the most status quo. Like, the Pittsburgh Steelers just love winning 8 games. Love winning 9 games. This is the most status quo thing I've ever seen, bro. Jesus Christ, man.
I gotta see what our homeboy Tree say about this one, man.
For sure, Trees, you got to let us know about this one, dog. All right, and last but not least, man, Stephen Stefanski with the Atlanta Falcons. This might be the most hated, and I mean most hated, NFL hiring of my lifetime. I don't know a single Falcons fan who doesn't despise. Like, you got to think about this, Rod. DC Young Fly made videos roasting this pick. Like, people who are prominent NFL fans who are celebrities have been bashing this pick. This is the most hated NFL hire I've ever seen. When is an NFL hire ever been met with so much venom and vitriol? Like, normally you're just happy to get a new coach. I've never seen this. They hate this man, Rod. They hate him.
Herbie, this is what happens when a hero comes along and you are the villain, aka Shador was the hero, and Stefanski was the villain. And he's carried Herbie. When you really think about it, objectively speaking, people have to remember Kevin Stefanski won 2, not 1, 2 head coaches of the year.
2 head coaches of the year.
Like this is not and this is a guy who has proven when he has a capable quarterback that he can get a really good offense going. And think about what the Falcons have. And Shad, I know you ain't trying to hear this, Shad.
We know you ain't trying to hear it, fam.
I'm just being honest.
Gang. We know you don't want to hear this, gang.
Bro,
but go on, Rod. Go on.
Think about what the Falcons have. You have a generational running back in Bijan Robinson. You have Drake London still. Depending on who you are, you're gonna throw Kyle Pitts in that equation. And then I don't know what they plan to do with Michael Penix, but I'm sure they're gonna run it back with Michael Penix, who he was okay in the games that I watched him play. I wasn't too high or low on him this season based on what I saw. But you have a coach that if there's anybody that can get the best of Penix and the skill players of this offense, I mean, why not Stefanski, Herbie? But, listen, maybe Falcons fans I think it's a lot, it's Shador based. I think it has a
Oh,
lot to do
100%.
with
Like when
security.
nobody, the majority of people don't know NFL head coaches. Like you only know an NFL head coach when they become your coach. So for him to already have this coming into it, like this opening game, they might boo him, bruh.
Well,
Like he has no
Dion was about
choice.
Herbie, and they feel like they slided his son, bro.
Like
So
you okay, so I'm so conflicted with the hire for and again, this ain't my team. I'm not a Falcons fan, but let me put it like this. It's so deep, Rod. There's a sports bar that's down here. That's the famous sports bar. It's called Player Sports Bar and Lounge. It is a hood bar. It's a place where a lot of black people go. It's a black space specifically for hood black people, right? So I go there to watch the the national championship game between Indiana and Miami. So it was this past Monday, and there was this dude who was sitting, country dude, and we get to talking, and he tells me he's a Falcon fan. First thing he said, "Man, I can't believe we done hired bitch ass Stefanski." I'm like, yo, like, bro, Rod, it is universal. Like, it's not just Shad, bro. It's not just Shad. Shad, it ain't just you, fam. It is the pulse of the entire Falcon fandom are pissed that they hired Kevin Stefanski, bro. Like, I've never, like, the closest I could see this being is if, like, you're a college fan and you hired the coach of a rival. This is like you being a Florida State fan and or right, like you, like this
it's
is you
like
being
Jimbo going to the U or something.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
This is
yeah,
the
yeah,
closest.
yeah.
This is the close. This is like Jimbo Fisher going from Clemson going to the U or something like that, or going to Florida State. Now, like you hate this dude. Like I have not because college because college is coach driven. College fans know coaches. You know coaches in your division. You know coaches. That's not an NFL thing, bro. So for so many people to know who Kevin Stefanski is, homie's public enemy number one. Homie got to walk with both eyes behind his back, Rod. It ain't right. He needs security detail out there, bro.
Security.
They are going to boo. Like the first drive, they're booing the shit out of the Falcons, bro. At Mercedes-Benz Stadium, bro.
Shy had
Oh
words.
shit, he crashing out. Shy, come on, man. Come on, relax, man. Relax. Come on, twin. Come on, twin.
Hey,
Relax.
my man said if I hear Coach of the Year again, I'm throwing.
Come on, twin. Come on, twin. Relax, twin. We ain't trying, bro. Phones are expensive, twin. We don't want to break no phones, man. I listen. You feel me? Like go throw a pot or something, man. Don't throw the phone, twin.
Hey man, I was just reading the resume partner. That's it, man.
Bruh,
That's
it
all.
is, bro. It is like I have never seen this in the NFL, Rod. Never. Like never. NFL fans don't care about NFL coaches, dog. Like you gotta understand what your division is, what your team is. This is the Atlanta Falcons. Like when you watch a Atlanta Falcons game, you can make the argument it is the blackest crowd you will see in all of the NFL.
Yeah, easily.
Easily.
Yeah, easily, bro.
You can't hire Kevin Stefanski. Like, you can't do it, dog. Like, you can't. You can't do it. Like, this is what happens when people are not paying attention to the culture, right? Like, you move off from Raheem Morris and you move off from, I think they had a black GM, and then you put Matt Ryan in that place. You speed track Matt Ryan to be the president of operations because the nigga was on CBS, on TV. Whatever, I guess. Whatever. But Matt Ryan is not paying attention to the culture. Matt Ryan is like, hey, I've seen Kevin Stefanski. There's an opportunity. He has coaching, coaching experience.
Yeah, yeah.
He has accolades. Not to piss you off, Rashad. He's won 2 Coach of the Years. Whatever. Nigga, read the fucking room, dog. Kevin Stefanski could have went to 28 out of 32 NFL franchises. He just couldn't go to any of the ones in the NFC South. You couldn't go to black ass Carolina. You couldn't go to super black ass New Orleans. And you absolutely couldn't go to black ass Atlanta, bro. They hate this man, Rod. They despise this man. It's insane, dog.
It's hilarious.
It's hilarious.
It's hilarious, bro. And I can see.
So go ahead. Just go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, and to Shot's point, this is a "what have you done for me lately" type of,
absolutely.
Right?
Everything.
He hasn't. And listen, I would argue. I'm not trying to argue for Stefanski, but I'm just gonna throw this out there. He wasn't the coach of the Browns, and the Browns won a playoff game, which
Rod. We trying to protect Shaw's phone. You that man about to throw that shit through a wall. Relax, man. He ain't trying to hit none of. He's not trying to hit none of that shit, man. He ain't trying to hit none of that Brown shit, man.
Hey, listen, man. Maybe the Falcons win the Super Bowl, bro. You never know.
No, like this is they have to win 15 games. This is going to be the first time where a team has the potential to go undefeated and they be mad they go undefeated, bro. Like, because they don't want to give Kevin Stefanski no credit. They want this man to be a disaster, bro. Like it's wild. It's wild, man. But any last words before we get up out of here, bro?
Nah, listen, man. Look, man. I obviously it was awesome to get back up to do this again.
Absolutely.
It felt like forever, even though it had only been like a week. But I'm looking forward to the Super Bowl, Herbie. And, we're going to get deeper into the Super Bowl and more offseason news. But I'm excited, Herbie. We got our two combatants. And a season that we waited all spring and summer for is finally almost over.
For sure. So I can't wait. I'm super excited. And so yeah, we're gonna do a longer form discussion with the Super Bowl preview on next week's episode. Also, we are going to react to the boxing card of Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez. So if you're a boxing fan, we got a guest coming on to recap the fight as well, man. So with that though, we will see y'all next week. Deuces.